What is going on, everyone? We are Tottenham TV here, back again for another tactics video. I'm joined by Coach Stell from Tottenham Away. How are we doing, Stell? Are we okay?
Yeah, the transfer window's closed now. We can crack on with the rest of our season. We've got a couple of things to play for, top four, and we are in the FA Cup. We're playing this weekend. So it will be interesting now to see how we play with the players we've removed from the club. And the two signings we've made. It'll be interesting to see how we set up tactically and how we go about playing over the next couple of months. And I'm actually looking forward to analysing those games more because it's beginning to become a bit more of a Conte team.
And it's a bit frustrating, isn't it? Because although we've been going quite well in the league under Conte, you know, we've had this one defeat against Chelsea that's kind of mulled over. It's like we're mulling over it for 2 weeks, and then we had the end of the transfer window, which obviously heightens more anxiety than the fan base. So you're looking forward to maybe once we start playing again, hopefully it kind of maybe triggers something where the fan base can be a bit more united, or not necessarily united, but less anxiety. Maybe everyone can just settle with what we've got, and we can have a strong end to the season.
I think results will dictate that. I think if we go on another run of back-to-back wins, I think we won like 5 or 6 in a row with Conte, maybe a draw in the middle. That will definitely galvanise the fan base again, because then you know we really are in a top four race, and it's when you've got something to play for, fans get behind it. When there's nothing to play for, it's like you're just going through the motions, waiting for the season to end, moaning, complaining, just oh yeah, whatever. So yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to it, especially with the fact that our rivals, you could argue, they've done nothing. Well, they have. What have they done other than
sole players, in fact?
Yeah.
Arsenal selling Aubameyang, United selling Martial, Donny van der Beek, and Mason Greenwood's been suspended. So they're both weaker.
I think what's interesting with it is that I think all clubs have actually got rid of players. Spurs as well. We got rid of 4 or 5. What's interesting is all the clubs that got rid of players have got rid of players that don't really play for them. Martial and Van der Beek hardly play for United. Aubameyang hasn't played for Arsenal for maybe a month. Maitland-Niles hardly ever features. Ndombele, Lo Celso, Dele, how often do they play?
One start under Conte between them.
Right, so I think the clubs all competing for top 4, they've got rid of players that don't really play for them. So you can't really... maybe we can't say, actually, we've all weakened because they weren't playing anyway. But we're the only team that's brought in players. They haven't. That's the bit that's kind of changed my opinion on things at the moment. Because I really thought United were going to go and get a holding mid. I thought they were going to go and get another defensive player. They didn't. I thought United would definitely bring in a striker after getting rid of Aubameyang, and to spend the rest of the season with Lacazette and Eddie Nketiah up front. I mean,
they've got 3 goals between them this season.
Yeah, it's just. I was shocked. I never ever thought Arsenal were going to go and do something like that. I actually think that's it's almost insane. You've shot yourself in the foot. But they do have a lot of goal-scoring midfielders: Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli.
I want to ask your opinion actually on this in terms of that Aubameyang. Before we start getting to the analysis, we'll get there soon. Don't worry.
We'll get there.
But I want to just talk about the Aubameyang thing, because obviously they've let him go. Clearly, he's their best striker. I'm pretty sure in terms of goals, he's probably got the most goals out of all their forwards this season. You know, it wasn't that long ago. He was scoring in the North London derby as Arsenal were beating us 3-0 at the Emirates. And,
he was golden boot.
And no, but I'm saying early this season, right? He scored when they beat us 3-0 or 3-1 at the Emirates. Like, he was part of the team. And obviously he's had a falling out of Arteta, right? He hasn't played for a while, 6 weeks or so. But if you're getting rid of someone like Aubameyang without getting in Arteta, without getting in a striker, isn't like sometimes there's an element of when a striker's banished, right? But if you still have them, there's always a possibility that they can somehow be reintegrated into the team and come back and start firing again. For example, remember when Tevez for City, he got banished from Mancini. He went on a golfing trip for however long, 6 months or something. But when they really needed him, they were struggling. They had injuries or whatever. They really needed him at the end of the season. They reintegrated him back in the team, and he got loads of goals, and they won the league because he came back. I remember once Tottenham had a striker, Pavlyuchenko. He was completely unpicked, falling out with the manager, but yet he stuck around, and when we needed him, he reintegrated back in the team, and he went on a run, and he scored loads of goals, and we got back in the top. We got into Champions League. Do you think there's an element that if Arsenal could have kept Aubameyang, even though he's fallen out with the manager, would it not be better in that case just to keep him, just to see maybe he can be reintegrated in the future if they really need him? Or is it just better just to get him out?
Yeah. So there's two ways to look at it. One is what you said. Harry Kane's a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Harry Kane at the start of the season. Look at what happened when Conte's come in. He's re-galvanised him.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely settle your differences and just find a way through it for the greater good of each person. Like, if I was managing Aubameyang, I would be looking at it saying, I really need a top striker. I think they put all their eggs into one basket for Vlahovic and didn't come through. And they didn't really have a plan B. So that's kind of where, as a manager, you just got to almost swallow your pride, sort your differences out, and just promise him, give me everything you've got to the end of the season, and I will make sure you get the kind of move you want. I will facilitate that. I will make sure. Help me, I'll help you. Come to an agreement and make it a win-win situation. So on that side, yes. But on the flip side, we don't know what the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
And from what Arsenal fans say, once Arteta's got it, once there's an issue, it's an issue. Saliba doing brilliantly in France, Arteta doesn't want to know. Torreira doing well, doesn't want to know. Guendouzi doing really well, doesn't want to know. Aubameyang, if players that are owned by Arsenal or other clubs doing well, and Arteta isn't prepared to bring them back when they're short of players because of his personal differences, then he's not going to bring Aubameyang back. And I can understand that if Arteta really, really believes they're toxic players for what he's trying to do. And it's fair to say that since he has got rid of these players, Arsenal were on the up. But they've had a shocking January, which is great. But they didn't strengthen to resolve that.
But from our point of view, it's good that Aubameyang's gone.
Fantastic.
Because it completely takes away that possibility that he could be reintegrated.
It's good they didn't buy another striker.
Yeah.
It's good they didn't buy another striker. Yeah. Look, Ben, we could say the same about Spurs. Sim, beg your pardon.
It's all right.
We could say the same about Spurs. We've got rid of 4 midfielders and we brought in 2. Is that enough? Probably not. There's an argument to say we should have held on to Bryan Hill. Okay, he might not be performing how fans want him to perform, but it's an option out wide, and he has shown he can beat a man. He can put a burst of energy into a team in a game that maybe just needs it. So perhaps we were better off holding on to him. But if Conte feels that it's detrimental or there's something not right there where he can't play him, you've got to back your manager. Otherwise, why have a manager?
That's absolutely right. But some would argue part of a manager's job is to manage players and manage personalities.
Absolutely.
But I guess when they've made a decision, that's it. That also has to be respected. But look, let's get into some analysis. We're going to be looking at Tottenham against Chelsea primarily in the second leg of the Carabao Cup, in which we did lose 1-0 after 3-0 on aggregate as well. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I have to say to everyone watching, apologies that this is the only game we're doing, and we're not doing Leicester City or the Chelsea game in the league that we lost at Stamford Bridge. The reason is I can't do a kind of tactical analysis unless I'm at the game and I'm taking photos from things that I spot as well. It's all good and well just getting images off the TV, but the camera doesn't see the whole pitch when I need it to see the whole pitch. So I can do a half-baked, semi-cooked average analysis, or I can do one that I know is going to be good. So I'd rather do a good one, and I can really explain what I'm seeing with the team and what's going on.
Okay. Look, And I'm sure, like when football comes back, we're going to be doing it weekly again, and I'm looking forward to analysing more games in the future. But let's look at this game, and maybe we can see why Tottenham in the second leg weren't able to overcome Chelsea in this particular game.
Yeah, there was two factors I spotted throughout the game that it effectively cost us the game. One was we were too defensive, which really surprised me because we were 2-0 down in the tie. Mm-hmm. We had to get the goal to make it a game. But rather than going for it, we were more concerned of conceding a goal and the scoreline becoming 3-0 and we're completely out of the tie. And I personally didn't like that because I think, look, you're at home, you've got fans here, they've turned up, go for it. Just go for it. Chelsea do not like it when teams go at them. Brighton have proved it. Wolves have proved it. Go at them. So I just want to break down why I believe we were too cautious. And the other factor that I felt cost us was I actually have no idea what our wing-backs are playing at. I genuinely do not understand what they're playing at. And I spotted a number of things, and we're gonna get into it because I think it'll be a really interesting insight into it as well. So if we start off with perhaps being a bit too defensive, I'll give you some examples.
Okay, let's bring up the first image.
So this is a free kick that we won. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than half the team is in or around the area of where the ball is. We should have a player.
That's actually 6 there, yeah.
Yeah, 6. Plus the goalie, 7 you could say, but obviously he's going to stay in goal. Why do we need so many players standing in a position where we can't win a rebound, we can't cause confusion in the wall, we can't maybe drift out wide and pull a defender out of the wall as well? It's just a very, very cautious approach. This was just before the free kick happened, and you can see the players now moving into the position that they're going to take. Mm-hmm. The position that they want to be in before the free kick is taken, and it's pretty much the same. So I look at there's a few moments like that, and I just thought to myself, come on.
Ask more questions of Chelsea. Why is it all central?
Yeah.
Because look all the space out wide. A lot of space there. You could roll out wide, get across in the box from a better angle.
Who's in the wall? One player.
But I'm assuming. Oh, you mean the Tottenham? Which Tottenham players in the wall for?
Disrupt the wall. Pull someone's shirt as soon as the free kick's taken.
You think that's an instruction for the manager?
Yeah, that is. Because if we go to the next slide, this was I believe a free kick or a corner kick taken out wide. Again, the reverse now. Everyone's back. That big red circle, look at that space that we can attack if we win possession.
This is from a Chelsea corner.
Chelsea corner, or I believe, Chelsea corner, yeah. And again, I've always spoken on our previous tactical shows about being transition ready. Are you ready for the transition? Are you ready to counter? Are you ready to get forward? No, we're not. We're not. All we can do in that situation is kick it out. So this is what I mean by we're more worried about conceding the third goal in the tie than what we are about scoring a goal and seeing what Chelsea are going to do. Let's see what you're made of now that we're back in the game. So too defensive, too pragmatic. And it's very unusual because we've done some shows where I've shown you similar things. And we've done other shows where we've done the complete opposite.
Against Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm like, look, we've got 3 up there. We've got 2 out wide. Brilliant. I don't
Who did
know.
we have up top of this game? Kane and Lucas, wasn't it?
Yeah, because Son was out.
And then Giovanni Lo Celso was there as well. I'm pretty sure he started the second leg, but he wasn't very good, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, I think the wing backs came off as well, actually, in that game.
It was Doherty on the left, Emerson
Doherty
on the right.
was playing, yeah.
That's right. So that's
coach. That's a direct instruction.
We're talking about players from a transition. The best thing about against Liverpool is we had Son right at the top, ready for those transitions. Did we have the players who are able to really exploit those transitions in this team?
Well, yeah, because we had them for Leicester, and Leicester we were even more weakened. Leicester, it's a shame I couldn't do a tactical analysis on that game because I didn't have the exact images to frame up for a show. But if anyone does get a chance to go and watch some highlights, look at Tottenham, how we were when Leicester were on the attack or when they had a corner. We were ready to go. We were ready to counter.
You even saw that the first goal which Kane scored. He's right on the halfway line, ready to go.
This is it. Transition ready. Are you ready to win possession and use it wisely? And this is what... I can't get my head around it. There's no consistency in what we do. It's like, right, today we're going to be defensive. Right, today we're going to be attacking. Today we're going to...
It seemed whenever he come against Chelsea, he seems...
We are unbalanced in our tactical approach.
But it seems, though, we only seem to have that problem against Chelsea for some reason. Against Liverpool, we were more than happy to throw some caution to the wind. Maybe because...
Southampton, we were like this.
Southampton, we were like this.
Not as bad, but we allowed Southampton to press us, and we allowed Southampton to basically dominate the first half because we weren't transition ready again.
Is it a case of being too worried about the opposition in these cases, or maybe it's the players? Because against Liverpool we had Winks, Dele, and Ndombele in a 3.
Yeah, but Sim, all you do is you call out Kane, Moura, push up halfway line. It's a direct instruction. It's not something that is hard to do. Conte knows what he wants to do. You've seen him on the sidelines. He's barking out instructions all game. He's a very vocal coach, very animated coach. This is coached. This is deliberate.
Okay.
All
right, let's move
yeah.
Moving on to the next image.
Slide.
So we're on another Chelsea corner. It's the same thing.
So it's another example of the same thing that we've spoken about. We can go to the next one.
Right. And it also shows, a lot of players in our own box, and as you say, nowhere near enough players. At least one player just stay up there, making sure that if we do win the header, we have an opportunity for a counter.
You need players, one, ready to be made available for the transition to counter or whatever attack you want, we're going to build it up, and two, it pulls Chelsea players out of the attack because now they've got to drop back and say we can't just leave him unmarked. You're pulling them out of shape. We're not doing that, and hence why I always say ask the question. We're gonna do this is our chess move A B C. What are you gonna do about it? Ask the question. See what they do, and that's what tactics is about. It's about we're gonna do this. What are you gonna do? Or I know what you're gonna do. So I'm going to set up like this to stop you. Mm-hmm. I'm more of the, no, this is what we're going to do, and you've got to find a way to deal with it, rather than, I know what you're up to. I'm going to do this to stop you. Ideally, you want to be a bit of both, but in this game, we were very much more concerned about what they do, and we've explained how we weren't ready for transitions. Let me now show you how we allowed them to dictate the game because we were too cautious. Okay. 4 across the middle.
That's Chelsea.
Yeah. All of them unmarked. They've got absolute freedom of the park to get on the ball and play. Especially those 3 in the middle. Jorginho and Kovacic absolutely bossed the game. But it's not just because they're good players, and they are good players. We did not at all get into them. We didn't shut them down. We didn't press them. We didn't put numbers further up the pitch to pull them out of shape. We allowed them to play. And I'm giving an example here of where they're completely unmarked. If you go to the next slide, you'll see they played that triangle.
In the centre of the park.
Mate, they're free. They're free to play. They can do whatever they want. And this wasn't just a one-off moment. If you go to the next half, so if you go to the next slide,
there you go, yeah.
That's a different half of the game. But look, same triangle. There's a consistency in their discipline in the midfield. And for a lot of people that give Tuchel stick, you need to rethink, because Tuchel knows what he's doing. Their issues that they do have are slightly different, but it's not their midfield trying to dictate a game and the discipline that they have, because 4 across the middle, triangle first half, triangle second half, and each scenario they stayed in shape they stayed disciplined, and we allowed them to just get on the ball and link up their play.
Well, what do you think? We were worried if we got too close, they could play around us, and that would open us up too easily. Maybe that was what we were worried about too much. And if that's the case, you know, sometimes when you're 2-0 down, you have to throw some caution to the wind, don't you?
We're chasing the game. So we have to go for it. I get maybe in the first, what you don't want is in the first 10, 15 minutes to go 1-0 down. Because that's
We did.
Yeah, we did. I know we did. So I'm just trying to figure out why Conte did it. But it backfired. It didn't work. It simply did not work. So maybe we were just better off going at them and not worrying about the goal that they might score. Because when we did go at them...
in the second half a bit,
Sim.
late in the game.
Mate, we had 2 penalty shouts and we had a goal called offside. VAR intervened, and in each case VAR was right. But we were probing, we were asking the questions. Chelsea were beginning to wobble. So it shows when you do go at Chelsea, they can be got at. We just didn't do it enough. And I've shown you why, because we were too defensive and because we allowed the midfield to just maintain their shape and dictate the play. But the biggest problem for me are the wing-backs. The wing-backs are an issue. And they're just on a different wavelength to each other. If you look at Conte's team that best played the wing-back system, it was when he was at Chelsea. And the wing-backs, the 2 things the wing-backs did was they always played really high and wide, almost hugging the touchline. And the reason they did that was, 1, so if we get it up wide, we're able to attack. And 2, and it's one of the biggest reasons they positioned high and wide, it pulls the defenders out of shape. You begin to start affecting the midfield. And what happens is when you pull defenders out of shape, midfielders then have to compensate. Midfielders then get pulled out of shape. Gaps appear. And when those gaps appear, that's what your players have to be ready to visually see. Right, got them. Exploit that space. We weren't doing it because the wing-backs were all over the shop, right?
But when Doherty's playing on the left, you know.
And Emerson, both of them. I'll show you, all right? So, first of all...
Go on, let's bring up this image.
So we've got Doherty circled in the dark blue.
Okay.
And we've got Emerson circled in the light blue. I've drawn a line going into the middle of the pitch to show you they're not in line with one another.
Okay.
One's higher up than the other. Why is Emerson back there?
Where's the ball? I think the ball is near...
The ball is in the midfield area.
Okay.
In fact, let me...
I think it's near where Sanchez is, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're looking to play it down the middle, right? So both wide players should be pushed. Doherty, in fairness to him in this scenario, he's actually in the correct position. It's Emerson.
If Emerson gets higher, though, because right now he's free. If he pushes higher, he gets marked from a player, right? Doesn't he?
Yeah, but then the space opens up in the middle.
Right, which the midfielder can step into.
Or play a pass through to the striker. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you a good example in a minute of exactly what I'm talking about. And I just think, why you're high, you're low. That's not how Conte plays his system. He plays them both high or in a diagonal.
Which is why you see so often...
But we don't do the diagonal yet because we haven't got good enough players to play that. But
No.
you will see when Conte gets his players, he will have almost one player here, one there, one there. It'll be like a diagonal line that he creates, and in the defensive line. And that allows the wingers to be higher up. At the moment, we can't quite do that.
When you say both wing backs need to be high, and that's why you see in Conte's best system, how many times you'll see one wing back crossing and the other wing back being at the back post completely free. It's happened many a times at Tottenham already, even though we haven't exploited it the most times. The amount of times we've seen...
That time Emerson came in and jumped up and got that header, remember?
Yeah.
And it went over the bar.
Yeah, in this game, you mean?
It was this game. He also did it in another game. I believe it might have been Everton away.
How many times you've seen Reggie pop up at the back post and maybe miss a chance or stuff? That is literally vintage Conte, how he likes to play. That is, and I think I think you're very right in saying he likes both fullbacks to be very high and very attacking.
Yeah, but absolutely. But when they're not doing it, his entire system falls apart. The entire Conte system falls apart. It just breaks down. And in this game, I'm just highlighting where I believe we lost the game. So one is too pragmatic, too cautious. Two, we allowed the midfield to just get on the ball and dictate the game. And three, the biggest one for me is the wing backs. So I've shown you how they're not in line. This one's even better, right? This one's even better. If you look at this, you'll see that
who's circled right now?
So Doherty and Emerson.
Okay.
Right. The ball is next to the player where Doherty is.
Okay, on the
I
left.
think it's Kane.
Okay.
Right. Now Doherty, he's making a run to where the arrow is on the left side of the pitch. But he should already be there. So Kane should feed that in straight away. But look at him. He's
on his bike. Yeah.
He's two in. He's two inside. He should be out wide.
Do you think that's why? Because he's a right-footed left wing back. Maybe that's why part of the reason why.
I don't think he's that good. If I'm going to be honest with you, Sim.
Just that particular
I
reason.
just don't think he's a very good player. Go back to that slide a second, because there's one other thing I need to show you. Right, look at Emerson. What is he doing again? He should be higher up. I've put an arrow on the right side of the pitch where he should be. So both left and right wing back are too deep and they're too in. They're almost playing like midfielders. Deep midfielders. I don't understand it. So there's one scenario where one's there, one's there. Now they're both here when they should be there. Let's go on to the next one. This isn't just one-off moments. This is consistent. There should be one before this. Yeah, right. This is the best one of the lot. So I've circled in blue the goalkeeper of Chelsea and the centre back, because the ball is with the goalie, with the centre back. So I'm guessing the centre back's probably looking for a short pass from the goalkeeper, right? Emerson is on the left side of the pitch because we're attacking this way now. He should be dropping back into position in the right back role. He's in the middle of the pitch with his back to the game. It's the small details that, for me, I can tell you if a player's intelligent or not, or whether they've got game understanding. We teach players from a young age, jog backwards. Check your shoulder, jog backwards, because if the other team play, you're alert. He is the only player on the pitch, and one other from Chelsea, who've got their back to the game right now.
They're running, they're jogging with their back to the game.
What happens if the ball gets thrown out wide? The Chelsea player gets onto it. Emerson's behind the play. That's not an intelligent player. And that is quite fundamental stuff. He should be observing the game and be back into position. If we go back to that slide, sorry, Sam. Sam's our engineer, by the way, if anyone's wondering who Sam is. On the other side of the pitch, you've got Doherty. Now, he's got two options. He can press up high, so I put an arrow going forward, and mark the Chelsea player. Or he can do what I've done with Emerson, drawn an arrow,
go back,
and drop back.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing. He's running towards Lucas Moura. Like, where are you going, Doherty? Where are you going, my man? Go and mark a player or drop back and defend. He's running towards Lucas Moura. And then I get into these discussions where people say to me, no, but Doherty's all right. He was good at Wolves. Look at him against Leicester. I'm like, guys, I want to believe it. I want to get behind it. I don't get it. I've shown you how we're not in shape. We're two in when they should be wide. He's got a decision to make. Go press the man or drop deep. And he's just kind of going towards Lucas Moura.
And why have you circled the on the bottom right here?
What, the one in blue?
Yeah.
That's where the football is.
Ah, okay.
Because the football's with the goalie, that's why Doherty has got the option to go and press, because you're now going to stop the goalie from playing the ball out wide there. So, Sim, I look at it and I'm just trying to understand. Do our wing backs even know what to do? Do they understand what Conte wants them to do? Are they good enough? Do they switch off?
It does seem, though, when
enough?
Reguilon's in the team, we look a bit better out wide than we do when he's not in the team.
So we're going back to quality of player then, personnel. Would you say Reggie's a better wing back than Doherty?
Oh yeah.
So this is why then, for me, the wing backs, they just weren't doing what they're supposed to do, and it's because of the quality of player. But then I would counter you. Sorry to interrupt. I would counter by saying it's all good and well us saying right they're not good enough. Then Conte, why are you persisting with this system in a game you know the next goal could turn the tie? Why are you persisting with the system where you haven't got the players to do it? Because when we went away to Stamford Bridge in the league, he then went to a back four. He changed it. Well, he could have done it in this game, perhaps. I don't know.
I think didn't he change it in the second half, if I remember rightly. I'm trying to remember. I think didn't he change to a back four in the second half, and that's when we started creating some chances.
No, we started creating chances because I'll show you why.
Okay.
I'll show you why.
Let's see why.
Okay. Now, in the red is our wing back. Exactly where you should be. Up high, out wide, on the white line. Look what the Chelsea player next to him has done.
Get tight to him.
Pulled out wide. This is... So for anyone that wants to understand the system a bit better, the whole point of playing the Conte system with the attacking wing backs is, like I've said before, 1, to create an attacking opportunity down the flanks. 2, to pull the other team out of shape to create space in midfield. Now, the ball is a throw-in, which goes to Winks. And I've drawn a sky blue line, an arrow showing where the ball can be played. That space there has been created purely because our wing back is in the right position. Look at that gap that's opened. Now, a player that can play a good through ball, Harry Kane I've circled in sky blue, play the ball there, Kane's in. And you know what? That's how we got into him. The wing backs are key to Conte's system.
Just positionally.
Yeah. Remember what we say to you, Sim? When I look at the game, I'm looking at what we do off the ball. How a team and how players play off the ball is just as important with what we do on the ball. Hence why I always say, I don't care about formation. I couldn't care less about formation. I want to see how you play the formation because that's the tactic. So the tactic is to have the wide player, attacking wing back, high and wide, to pull a player out of position to create the space. And then now we're depending on a quality player to play a killer pass and for Kane to run onto it and be in the right place. And he is. Kane is doing his job.
He's onside there, yeah.
So this is when we began to get into them. I think with better quality players, Sim, game intelligence is key. With intelligent players, Conte's system will be something where we will find joy and success from. If you look at the transfer window, this is why I gave it a 5 out of 10 because I know how important the wing backs are, and I've highlighted to you how the wing backs not doing their job properly, how it can cost us. I'm not convinced with our current wing backs. For me, Doherty's just not good enough for Spurs. Emerson, I think, is, let's call him a project. So he's not ready yet. Reggie, I think he's had an inconsistent season. He's had some games where he looks brilliant. Then he has other games where you think, come on, Reggie. And then he's out, injured or something's happened. We don't know. So there's inconsistency in him.
And Sessegnon?
He's had some game time. He's shown moments, but for me, he hasn't really done it for me.
Would you consider playing Sessegnon on the right and Reguilon on the left, second half of the season? Maybe have an inverted one. Because he's done it before. He used to play Ashley Young there for Inter Milan.
Do you know what?
He used to play Perisic there.
Ashley Young and Perisic are experienced players. They're seasoned pros. They know the game. Sessegnon still learning. Probably not, no. If it was Serge Aurier, let's just imagine Serge Aurier still at Spurs. I would try it with him, not because I think he's great, but he's played. He's got experience. He's someone that could maybe get it and get on with it. Whereas Sess, it's almost, well, I haven't even settled in this position, and now you want me to go and learn that. It's have we got the time and the experimental games to go and do this when we're in a top 4 race? You want certainties. You want players that, right, I know you can do a job in that position. I'm just going to go with you because I need to get points because the top 4 race is on.
As of right now, in terms of level of performance, you said Emerson is a project and Doherty's not good enough. But in terms of level of performance we're seeing, do you still prefer Emerson to Doherty on that right-hand side?
I prefer Emerson, yes, but I don't think he's good enough either. I don't. It's a bit of a shame, actually, that that we don't have Kyle Walker-Peters, because I think in Conte's system he could have done a job for us.
You could argue our past 3 right backs, but since Kyle Walker sold, is probably still better than what we have now. Trippier, Aurier, Walker-Peters, probably all better than what we have now.
Yeah, look, I mean, Aurier going forward wasn't too bad, but he's always got a red card and about 10 free kicks in him that concedes us.
Yeah, but right wing back, he never played that role too often, did he? He was always a right back.
True, yeah.
Maybe with a bit more cover, could have been a bit better.
We do drop into a back 5 though when we're out of possession, so he would have to defend. So I'm not too sure about that. But Trippier, he did have a cross on him.
He was brilliant for England in the World Cup, wasn't he? Playing in the 3 at the back.
Trippier, I would be more inclined to agree with you. He would be a player that
and at the Euros as well, he started, didn't he? Under Southgate, he played in the final, got an assist. It kicks me that we didn't go and get that right wing back, because I know how influential that position is to what we want to do. And I've tried to explain it today, that right wing back and left wing back, they're so key to the way Conte wants to play. So in that, if that is true,
which is why I'm like, okay, yep, Kulusevski, yeah, not bad. Bentancur, yep, all right, but go and get the player you need.
Yeah, should Tottenham fans then be a bit more angry or disappointed that we didn't get that wing back on the right? Because if it's so crucial, maybe are we talking about it's crucial in these kind of games like against Chelsea and City in terms of the quality we have, or do you think just in general like we're going to struggle without a proper right wing back?
For me, top 4 would not be decided against games against the bottom 10. It's when we come up against, we've got Arsenal at home, Man United away, Man City away, Liverpool away, West Ham at home. That's 5 teams. That's 15 points right there. It's those games that we need to get certain results from. And to do it the Conte system, those wing-backs are key.
Part of me disagrees with that, though, because we've been very consistent against the bottom 10 or since Conte's come in, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried about those games.
I know, but...
I'm not worried about those games.
But those are very important. Look at Arsenal. They just played Burnley at home. They drew 0-0, right? That shows that those games maybe aren't as easy as you would think. Aren't as guaranteed 3 points as you. And if you can be very consistent against the majority of the table up and until the top 6, that will get you very, very far.
Absolutely, but the way I've been coached and the way I've been taught to do it is don't put your fate in someone else's hands. Don't allow a situation where the referee decides the game. Put the other team to bed. Go 3-0 up. Don't care what the referee does now. Let him cost us a couple of VAR decisions. We are in control. So the point of me saying that is, I'm not too concerned with Arsenal, United. I want us to go and beat those teams, and then do you know what? You lot can drop points. I'm not bothered, because we've done our bit. We've taken control of the situation, which is why when we were doing the call-ins during the week on the transfer window, I was saying, go and get those players now, those key players we need, that striker, that creative mid, or box-to-box midfielder, the right back, and take the lead. Let's go and say to Man United, to Arsenal, and to West Ham, you know what? We mean business, and we're going for it, and just go for it. Whereas what you're describing, you make a fair point, because look, Arsenal, they did drop points, and
United as well. There wasn't very recently lost at home to who was it? I can't remember. They lost.
But at the same time, we dropped points against Southampton.
Yeah.
So you could almost put us in that group as well. And we are sixth, and I do agree that there are games in hand, and if we win those games in hand, I totally get it. But I don't want it to be tight. I want us to pull away. I want us to get to mid-April, and we're like, job done. You should have gone and bought your players in the summer. You should have backed your at Christmas and backed your manager. Whereas now, because I feel we're short in that wing-back position, we're in the race, no doubt, but it's anyone's. It's going to be tight.
Yeah. I feel like there are about 4 players in the squad that if they get injured, like we are in big trouble, like in the second half of the season, and it shouldn't be the case for me. That that it's possible to be so reliant on a few players not getting injured.
It's a funny one, right? Because if you look at it, a lot of fans say, yeah, but every club's like that. They are, but they're not. It depends on the position. So if we lose Kane, we've got a big problem.
Yeah.
A really big problem, because we do not have another striker at the club. Whereas if Man United lose Ronaldo, okay, Rashford, Cavani, there are strikers that are proven that can step up. But if Man United lose Maguire and they lose, who plays next to him? Is it Bailey?
Varane.
You saw what happened. They're a shit show. Whereas we've lost our main defender.
And we're still okay.
Yeah. Arsenal, they lose their 2 defensive mids. They're fucked. They've got absolutely nothing in that pocket. But they did lose Aubameyang. Martinelli steps up. Smith. They've got goal scorers. So it's not so much who gets the injuries. It's what area of the pitch does each team get the injury in. And that's where I think it lies. We can sustain injuries as long as it's not to the striker and the goalie. Because then we're,
I feel like actually with I think if Ben Davies gets injured for a long term, we could be in trouble. And I think if Emerson gets an injury long term, I also think we could be in trouble.
We'll be weakened, but we do listen. We haven't got rid of Rodon. We haven't got rid of Tanganga. Arsenal have got rid of Chambers and Miles. They literally.
At least we have someone, yeah.
We've got bodies that can step in. Listen, Rodon's not rubbish. He's not a rubbish player. Tanganga, yeah, he's been shaky, but he's a body that can go in. Arsenal have got nothing at that back. If they lose Gabriel, White, they're done.
Literally just holding.
They're done. They're holding. Good luck.
That's it, yeah.
So
No, you're right. In that sense, they're much more reliant on players staying fit than we are.
In the back, yeah.
At the back, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
holding
true.
mid, we've got Winks, Skip, Højbjerg, and Bentancur.
Bentancur.
We've got 4. So for us, though, yeah, you're right. Our weakness is the wide players. If we lose wing backs,
Yeah, we're in big trouble. And I was thinking to Ben as well, in terms of what I'm worried about, having got rid of Lo Celso and Ndombele and Dele and bringing in Bentancur. Obviously, we clearly have solid defensive mids, right? Which is fine. We have 4 of them. They're all part of the squad. They're all dependable players, all decent level players. But when we're pushing for a goal late on, so we really need a goal, 20 minutes to go.
yeah,
We've seen it do before. For example, as I said, against Leicester, when we played Leicester away, we were 2-1 down. We really needed a goal with 20 minutes to go. He took off Harry Winks and he brought on Lo Celso and he put Lo Celso deep next to Højbjerg, and he said, I'm not saying Lo Celso played well or anything. I'm just saying as a tactical thing, he puts a good attacking player really deep, player who's got a good passing range who can make Leicester think even more about where we're going to attack from. He said, okay, we're going to have 1 defensive midfield player in Højbjerg. We're going to put Lo Celso next to him and we're going to go real full gung-ho. We're just going to go for it, right? Have we lost that ability to do that now? Like, because we only have defensive mids now. We don't have a midfielder who's an attacking mid at all now, not even an option.
I think keeping Bergwijn is a good thing, given the players that we've. If we allow Bergwijn to go as well, then I think, oh my God, we really are. Where are we getting goals from? So he can score. He's proven it. It depends how we play Bentancur and Kulusevski. Kulusevski can play that attacking mid role. How good he's going to be, I don't know. But the one I think that can do what you're describing is Bentancur. I went on. There's a scouting platform that I've got access to, and it's got loads of videos, and it's for agents, scouts, a lot of the high level clubs. Well, all the pro clubs use it. So I went on there. I've got access now. One thing I'll say about Bentancur, he keeps the ball moving for the team, and he's got a good. He passes the ball. He passes the ball well, better than Højbjerg.
Okay.
So potentially, he could do that role.
Interesting. Because you remember,
yeah.
I remember like sometimes even when under Poch we used to do it. Like if we're chasing a goal late in the game, we used to just get Eriksen, put him in centre mid, and then add another attacker in there. Like I just feel like we don't have anyone now who can just literally go deep and just be like a proper playmaker when we're needing a goal, like someone with real quality in the centre of the park. When we're like to really force the issue, like basically my point is, we're pretty much going to have 2 defensive mids every game now, and all, until the 90th minute, pretty much.
Well,
That's how I feel.
it depends what he does. Kane can drop into that role. He can. But we don't want him there because he's our main striker.
Maybe Kulusevski could do it. Maybe he could really...
Winks.
Yeah.
Winks can do it. Winks can do that role. I'm not saying he's the best at it, but he can do that role. But I hear what you're saying. You're right. This is what I was saying this morning when I called in on the show. We got rid of 12 players in the summer, and we brought in 5. We've got rid of 5 players now, we brought in 2. It's like the squad has just shrunk. But if you listen to Man United fans, you listen to Arsenal fans, they're all saying the same. They're all saying the same thing. We're down to the bare bones. Everyone, it's all going to come down to who gets injuries in what position or suspensions. That's what it's going to come down to.
So a lottery, basically.
Luck, yeah.
All right. What's the next picture we're going to go through then?
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, why I felt we lost the Chelsea game. It was the wing-backs not doing their jobs properly. The midfield of Chelsea being allowed to just unopposed do what they want. And our 2 defensive approach not being ready for the transition. This is just something I looked at because a lot of fans were going in really hard. This is the goal that they scored. So
On Galini, the keeper.
Yeah. Fans coated Galini for this. Absolutely coated him. And
I did as well.
yeah, listen, pretty much everyone did. But I went back and watched it. I looked at it a few times. So the big arguing point here is that look at all that space in front of Galini. He's unopposed. There's no problem. He should be able to come out, command the... But whenever something goes wrong, I always like to go back and see what was the trigger point. Because if I can stop that, then I'm stopping the rest from happening. Galini coming out and catching the ball, punching it, that's down to individual goalie coaching. That's down to a goalie coach and him working on these scenarios time and time and time again, and him figuring out what's best for him. Do I come off my line and punch it? Do I come off my line and catch it? Or do I just stay on my line and be confident in making the save? Which is what Hugo Lloris tends to do. He stays on his line. If you go back to the first image of the... Yeah, right. So, question for everyone watching the show and question for Coach Sim.
Yeah.
Is there anything you notice in this that would concern you?
Yes, probably. It's that player whoever's behind Sanchez. Who is that? Seems to have
Højbjerg.
doesn't seem to be in a. First of all, Sanchez. I think he's got Lukaku there.
Yeah.
Emerson doesn't seem to be marking anyone, and then Højbjerg is on playing catch up.
Right. Yeah, I agree with all of that. However,
and Tanganga there. Yeah, I can see Tanganga on the right. Rudiger's about to run off him.
the biggest problem we've got, and this is what led to the goal, people. This is the problem. This is what caused it. If we zoom in on that area, I've numbered the players. So Sanchez is number 1. He's marking Chelsea number 1. Right? This isn't the kit numbers. I've just labelled them. Højbjerg, 2 and 2. All right, Højbjerg's left his man. Number 3's got 3. Japhet Tanganga, number 4. Why is he marking 2 players?
Oh, he's got 2 players there.
And there is the problem.
I've just noticed that.
This is
why does he have 2 players?
Right, Sim. Everyone has coated Galini. Everyone has absolutely gone in on him.
It was hard to see that before. I don't know. Yeah, so that's
Well,
been quite this is why it's a
tactical analysis show. We go over the footage, we look at it, we analyse it, and what then happens is, if we go to the next frame, one of the players that Tanganga was marking has then gone off towards the ball. Tanganga's then had to make a choice. Do I go with A or B? He's had to make a choice. He's made a choice. He's gone with B. A's gone running in.
He's got beaten to it.
Caused disruption, and the ball's bounced off his head or back and stumbled in because Galini's fumbled it. Yes, Galini should have done better. Yes, Galini should have got a hand on that ball. But why was the situation allowed to arise? Because Tanganga was marking 2 players. And who's to blame for that? Well, first of all,
Emerson's not marking anyone.
Yes, but Eric Dyer is not on the pitch. Who is directing?
Leading.
Number 6 or number 3? Jaffet, he's got 2. Emerson, come at who's no direction.
That was always my biggest.
No direction, Sim.
That was always my biggest problem with Dyer not being in the team, and that Sanchez, when he's centre, being that leader, is that as much as I appreciate Sanchez is a good defender, I think Sanchez is a good defender, and he's good at defending, and I'm sure he'll try his best to lead a line. I don't think, like, from a leadership standpoint and communication standpoint, he can do the job that Dyer can do from that kind of perspective.
This is all down to leadership. A leader at the back would have got that under control quick. And also, one thing that I can't say yes or no, but it's something that I'll mention. Did Jaffet speak up? Did Jaffet say...
2 players.
Correct. Has he spoken? But, you know, it's impossible for me. I know Dyer wasn't on the pitch, so I know we've got leadership issue. I don't know if Jaffet spoke. And not just Jaffet. Did anyone around Jaffet, senior players, say, Jaffet's got 2? Has anyone else observed? This is where, you know, I talked to you about game intelligence.
And should Emerson be
Game
thinking,
intelligence.
I'm in the box, I'm not marking anyone?
Sorry, second.
Should Emerson be thinking,
Yes,
when I'm in the box,
absolutely.
I'm not marking
Absolutely.
anyone? What should I be doing?
Absolutely. He should be scanning. Right, danger, avert it, go mark.
Surely when you're at a corner, unless you like Harry Kane, when you're instructed, just stand on the front post and head it away, you should always be thinking, if I'm in a corner, I should be marking someone. Unless you're doing zonal, but they're not doing zonal, are they?
No, the man marking.
They're man marking. So unless...
Let me,
I can't think of a reason why he would be standing there and not marking anyone and not doing anything about it.
let me tell you this, right? If I can spot this and go back and see what needs to be coached, because you only coach failure, you never coach success, right? You might be pass a move, beautiful tiki-taka, Pep Guardiola football, but if your goalie kicks it long, doesn't do what he's told, and it goes in, you can't coach that. The aim of the game is to score. That's not what we've practiced. That's not what I've told you. But that's success. I can't coach that. If he kicks it long and it goes out of play, you bet I'm going to coach. So with this is coachable. And if I can spot it, I guarantee you Conte would have gone back over that video with his team and he'll be pulling his hair out. He'll be saying, how the hell is Jaffet marking 2 players?
And the funny thing is, that's something Doherty said after the recent defeat against Chelsea. He said, we're conceding too many goals from set pieces and it's becoming a real problem.
Well, I can tell you what happened in this set piece.
We conceded in the next game against Chelsea from a set piece, didn't we? Against Silva. Silva scored.
I'd have to analyse that one because, like I say, as fans, we're quick to get an opinion. So everyone blamed Galini.
Morecambe, we conceded from a set piece as well.
Yeah,
It has been a running theme, hasn't it?
I need to look at every set piece and
Because not every set piece is the same, obviously.
yeah,
But
because I have to go over it so I can see. Because like I said to you, every fan blamed Galini. For me, yeah, Galini's partly at fault, but for me, the problem here and the fault I would put on it is why is Jaffet marking 2 players? Because if that is resolved, there's no goal here for me.
Agreed. But I thought as well, no, I agree with that. And I think that's definitely, you've got to look at that. I just felt as well.
He should have done better. The goalie.
Yeah, not only should have done better, I felt like it was one of those moments where sometimes a goalkeeper, right, a corner comes in and the goalkeeper thinks he can go get it, right, and he misjudges it and you can just say, oh, I've just misjudged it, and it goes in the back of the net, right? And he just misses it. He thought he could get it, but he couldn't. Actually couldn't, and he just misjudged the situation. This one, I don't think he misjudged it. I think he could have got the ball. Like, I don't think it wasn't one of those situations, oh, he actually just should have stayed on his line. I think it was close enough to him where he actually could have got a punch on it, but he just completely fumbled it.
Sim, there is no doubt Galini should be getting on that ball. Whether it's a catch, a punch, he should be in control of that situation. There's no doubt. And that's why fans have blamed him. But as coaches, we've got to look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is, how was this situation allowed to arise? And I take it back. If I can stop that, I'm stopping everything else that comes after it. It's a bit like a penalty. How on earth has that penalty been given? Right, where did we lose possession? How did they then get from a possession situation to a goal-scoring opportunity? If I can stop that, I stop that. And that's why I say to you, when I do these tactical shows, I need to see the whole pitch. I can't just have where the camera's going on a match day. That's why when I go there, I know what I'm looking for. And
it's a bit like, yeah, when as you say, like a penalty, like someone makes a last man tackle in the box and like gives away a penalty, thinking, how is he giving away the ball? It was terrible defending. He's last man. How's it? But then you have to realize, why is he last man? Why has that guy got a run on him? All these.
Correct.
Who played the through ball? How is that through ball allowed to get through to him?
And that is tactics.
Yeah.
That's tactics.
All right.
That's why Conte, if he gets his players, this ain't going to happen.
Yeah, well, he's used to Bonucci and Chiellini, and he's now dealing with Tanganga and Doherty.
Welcome.
Welcome to Tottenham, Conte. All right. Well, was that everything then?
Yeah. That's. I just wanted to kind of say to everyone, look, this is why I feel that particular game didn't go to plan. The good thing is, the positive, we don't have to play Chelsea again this year. But you know, if we beat Brighton, we'll probably get Chelsea in the FA Cup. Do you know what? Actually, part of me wouldn't mind them in the FA Cup
Who, Chelsea?
Yeah, in the final. I'd love them.
Final?
Yeah. Do you know why? You gotta win once, man. You
Surely.
can't lose every single time.
5 losses to Chelsea in the season. No, I can't. I can't handle that.
Look, chances
Not
are.
with Chelsea. They have a way of just screwing us time and time again.
But we did beat them in the Carabao Cup final in
We
2008.
did. I was there. Yeah, we did beat them. That is true.
We're due one. We're due one. We got. Listen, we got to get lucky once against them, surely. You know.
You'd have to hope. But look, I think that's all the analysis we have time for today. We will be bringing, obviously, with the transfer window, and we had a few extenuating circumstances. We did pause the show for a bit, but we will be doing back regular tactics shows.
We're back, people.
We are back when
back.
When after the Brighton and who's I think we play midweek next week, aren't we? We play midweek.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
One thing I'll say, guys. I need to be at the game. If I'm not at the game, it's just very difficult for me to put the show together with Sim. So the next home game, I'm not at the FA Cup, unfortunately. I think Wolves is the next home game.
No, Wednesday is at home to Southampton.
Right, we will be doing a tactical analysis on the Southampton game. I promise you.
There you go. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a great day. I hope everyone's enjoyed all the content, all the analysis, all the discussions about the tactics and the transfers and everything and the like. Hope to see you all very, very soon. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Stel, thank you for joining me. It's been another great session. Enjoyed it very much.
Thank you. I've got to go home and set up for our show tonight, so it's one of those days non-stop.
Whoa. If you're looking for more of Stel, go and check out Tottenham on tour. He is tagged.
No, that's Brian Daigle.
Sorry, Tottenham away. That's Brian Daigle.
You can go watch them as well.
Yeah, you can watch them as well. Tottenham away. He is tagged in the title of this video. So go click the title, subscribe to Stel. Some great content over at Tottenham away. But thank you everyone for joining us. Shame we were analysing defeat. Hopefully we'll be analysing a win and why we got the win next time round. Thanks again, Stel, for joining. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.